Mancusi.
Yeah. He really fucked
You could
it
have
up.
just dubbed it in. You could have just put whatever you wanted.
Yeah, over Mancusi?
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
Just have AI do it. It'll be the same inflection. Just you can get it to sound just like him.
That wouldn't be bad.
Are we on camera? Are people seeing that I'm cleaning the...
Yeah, we're live.
Hello.
Hello. We got fellow gay Jeff Greenspan here.
Fellow gay. Are you gay?
No, the audience.
The audience is gay?
I would say, at least the people commenting.
Everybody's gay now.
People have written comments saying that they don't like that I call them gay foot freaks, but the freak part. No one's ever had a problem with the gay.
Yeah. It's not a problem for most people.
Well, I think people behind the
camera?
Yeah,
the
people
audience
that are, they'd be like, we're not all gay, we just like men's feet.
Oh, these are men that like men's feet.
Yeah.
And they don't think they're gay?
Right.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. No one's ever made a comment to me. They're like, I don't like that you call us freaks. People have said that.
Well, I don't
Which,
think
by the way, you kind of are.
Wait, the gays or the feet people? Who are freaks?
I'll let this conversation go wherever you want it to.
I've never been into feet, men or women.
To me, it's weird.
I hate my feet.
There you go.
I've had 3 surgeries. That's one more surgery than I have feet on my feet.
You've had 3 surgeries on your feet?
3 foot surgeries.
What happened?
It's gross.
Nose job?
Nose job.
I don't know.
I've had like a bunion where it's like a crooked toe. Like the toe will cross over the other toe. The big toe will cross over the toe next to it.
Now, is that crooked toes and crooked nose? Is that a Jewish thing?
The freak thing is the problem people have.
Yeah.
Right? Wow.
I know.
I don't think it's a Jewish thing. I think it's a flat foot thing. If you have flat feet and you don't have good arches,
you got flat feet also?
I have flat feet also. I've got hammer toes. Well, they've all been fixed, but I got a ton of other problems with my feet. Who cares about this?
Like emotional?
I've got emotional problems with my.
I'm going to a foot therapist.
My feet are very triggered. Yeah.
Oh yeah, PC feet.
PC feet. Yeah, I don't understand other people liking other people's feet, but I'm not. Who am I to judge?
Comment below. Tell us why.
I'm not judging people who do like feet. I mean, I like fucking weird, kinky shit that has nothing to do with feet, and I wouldn't want anyone to judge me. I won't even say what I'm into. That's how embarrassing.
Well, you commented on a YouTube thread because these guys will.
Would I comment on the YouTube thread about what I'm into?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're not feeding the algorithm.
All my sexual fetishes are rooted in shame, so I don't really want to talk about it when I'm not.
Interesting. Okay, they're all rooted in shame, and you're shamed to even bring it up.
I'm so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not good, but whatever.
All right.
I'm 53. I'm not fixing it now.
No, it's over.
I'm hardwired this way now.
At what point in life is it just over to fix yourself?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's who you're going to be at that point.
Forever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, I don't really think that. I think there's always opportunity to change. I can't even say it with a straight face.
You don't even believe it.
Nah.
You're trying to be a nice guy.
Trying to be positive.
Yeah, you're trying to be like a positive, marketable person. Let's just be honest. We're
Marketable.
pessimistic.
I think that ship has sailed. But yeah,
yeah. We're trying.
Yeah. I don't think I think the commodification of this personality is not happening.
Well, what's the personality? What would you say? If someone were like to say, give me the elevator pitch on Jeff Greenspan.
Larry David. Which is what I think you coined.
Yes.
I believe
that was me, Larry David.
Neurotic and if I'm being generous with myself, persistent.
Okay.
Rather than being just saying annoying.
Telling the 18-year-old coffee girl, can you check the tips?
I don't think that was a crazy. I don't know why you think that was crazy.
Insane.
It was not insane.
That was insane.
I know the people you know. I know the people who watch this. That's not even in the realm of insane.
I'm going to say this. Being in the feet is more sane than asking the girl who makes coffee if she could check all the tips.
That wasn't exactly... All right. When you order something, you go to eat or whatever it is, they spin that thing around and then they look away.
Yes.
Because they want you to leave a tip and they look... I don't like the look away.
That's fine.
So I said, why do y'all look away? And she said, well, we don't want to, it's weird just to make eye contact with someone.
They're the opposite of dogs in that way.
What do you mean?
When dogs
ask for a tip, they just look right at you.
They look right at you.
So I said, but why you look away? Because can't you just see what the tip is after? Like, what's with the theater of the look away when I just assumed once you're done with the transaction, they would see 15, 20, 25, whatever.
And they could do some mental math. I get you.
And she said, Well, I thought it would just say they tipped 15%, 20%. I thought,
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. And she said, no, they can't see it. And you thought that the credit card company took a slice of the...
I still think they do.
yeah, she might not know.
She didn't. I didn't. She
Yeah.
knows coffee. She doesn't know payment processing.
And she said she couldn't see the tip, right?
Oh, she could see the tip.
Oh, she could see the
Yeah,
tip.
she said if I go down here and I click it, I can
shit.
see the tips.
So why the look away makes me... There's shame. See, there's so much...
But then what should it be? Should it be that they just... Because she went to go make the coffee.
Here's
It's
what it
not
should
like
be.
she flipped it and then turned her back.
Here's a better system. Pay everybody a living wage so that you don't have to have tips.
There you go.
But that would fuck up the system that we have.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. That's not
Yeah.
going to work out here.
No. We're going to put the guilt and shame and responsibility on the consumer. It's not just with
That's right.
tipping. It's with recycling or doing good, or can you donate so that children can have socks when you're at Amazon or whatever. It's
Wow.
outrageous.
I'm out on
Multi-billion-dollar-
recycling too.
What?
I'm done with recycling.
You never started. It's not real. Doesn't exist.
It's not what we're doing compared to what corporations are doing.
Right.
What does it matter
Doesn't matter.
if I put the paper in the right thing? Sorry, I put it in the plastic one.
It's a little
Who
slice
cares?
of theater that you. It's immersive theater.
It is. It's immersive theater.
It's like Sleep No More. Do you not know Sleep No
no,
More?
I didn't know. I was
don't
going to
know
wait for an
Sleep No More?
explanation.
You're not very cultured, are you, Rich Happel?
No, that's my whole shtick.
Like a trash bag with a microphone.
Yeah.
It's an immersive theater project in New York City in an
Oh yeah, I'm
abandoned hotel.
sorry. Yeah. My NYPD father and preschool mother didn't bring me to immersive theater in New York City.
It's happening now. It's now. You don't need your
You
dad
think
to
I'm
take
looking
you.
out for immersive theater?
You're in comedy or comedy adjacent. You should see what's happening performance-wise in
Yeah.
New York City. Well, anyway, the recycling isn't real. It's not happening. It's all being dumped in the same place. The green.
Yeah, it's
the
all
blue,
going into Staten Island if
It's
you're
all
in the
going to
city.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
It's all going to that floating island.
The trash island.
The trash island, yeah. Which
Yeah.
is where you're from, right?
Yeah, my grandfather is from there. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm a quarter trash. I'm a-
All right.
yeah, you fly American Airlines.
Is that trash?
Yeah,
I have no choice. I live in Chattanooga. We don't have choices.
I flew in here with Delta.
Yeah, I don't. Delta. Well, I guess we have Delta too. I guess there's Delta and American Airlines. And for tomorrow, when I'm flying in New York, there was really only American Airlines available.
I'm on a Delta flight. What are you talking about?
Well, the time that I needed to get in.
You have to go earlier.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
American
not-
Airlines is garbage.
It's Delta. Yeah, Delta's a lot better, right?
Delta's the superior.
Yeah.
I like JetBlue too. People don't like JetBlue, but I like JetBlue.
I don't think we have. Do we have JetBlue here?
I don't think you have JetBlue here.
Yeah, I like JetBlue. JetBlue used to be something very different when it started.
What was it?
Amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, free Wi-Fi, and they took care of you, and everyone who worked there seemed to really enjoy it, and it was a pleasant experience. That's how they marketed it, as an actual friendly, inviting airline. Now it's just like everything else.
And I was just like kind of, but they have a nice granola bar, Jeff.
I don't eat granola.
You don't eat granola?
No, it's got nuts in it.
It's got, well, yeah, I guess. You don't eat nuts? Wow.
Dude, it's so easy. Why even? Really? Your comedy, your
Yeah.
the activities of yesterday have really debased your comedy filter.
What? Oh,
I'm not-
Mr. Showtime.
We did see Mr. Showtime yesterday.
Fantastic.
It was different.
That's immersive theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen a comedy act where they chew on marshmallows and throw it into the audience.
Well, I'm not going to denigrate any other comedian, but he's not a comedian.
Well, that's right.
He's an entertainer.
He's a comedic entertainer.
Yeah, and I won't denigrate them either.
He also says he's a Vegas comedic entertainer from Queens, New York.
He says he's from Queens, New York.
There's a lot of geographical complications with this act.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of artistic complications.
But you left
with this act.
inspired and invigorated after you left, it seemed.
Well,
You seemed changed. You were definitely changed.
I'm definitely changed. Yeah. What's the opposite of a baptism? That's what I experienced.
The opposite of it, so you've lost your religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out.
All right.
I never had much to begin
you had
with.
an anti-religious experience.
Yeah.
What changed inside you?
I just stopped believing in everything.
Just from that performance?
Just from that performance. And not only that, people's love for it.
Oh, people loved it. They were out of their seats.
What? It
was like a revival.
It was like someone's uncle got drunk and they were like, I'm going to do stand up for a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to sing every song from Rock of Ages.
Mm-hmm. You know, he floats through Chattanooga quite often at the club that I enjoy performing at. And at the you know, I'm going to go back on what I said. I said people can't change after 15. I'm 53. I'm working on being more diplomatic.
Interesting. In
So
what capacity?
I don't know if it's going to work for the whole hour. How long is this? An hour and a half?
Yeah.
Probably won't last. But for right now, I'm not saying anything about that.
Okay.
Yeah. You can say anything
Interesting.
you like.
Yeah, I will. I've called out comedy club bookers. I don't give a
Right.
fuck. What
Yeah.
are any of you going to do?
You work a lot, don't you?
Not help me?
Do you work a lot?
Yeah.
Maybe don't say shit about people.
I don't give a fuck.
I know
dude.
you don't. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. If any of them want to make money, they could ask me to help. Because they don't do anything now.
Right. What's the...
Oh,
what's
unless
the
you have to
breakout
pay $500 for to do their class at a comedy club in New York to maybe perform for free for 7 years.
Yeah. So how does that compare to like feet?
Feet do well.
Okay.
There's demand for feet.
Yeah. They I think it's Candy is teaching a class about how to show your feet.
Oh, did she
Yeah.
get into that too?
Yeah, she's doing feet
Oh,
classes.
well, she never did comedy. So why not also do something you've never done?
She was always very nice to me. So again, what are we, like 15 minutes in? I'm still very diplomatic.
It's going to real change.
Yeah, there's going to be
Yeah.
a change. There's going to be a sea change in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah. In Chattanooga.
We're in Chattanooga. We're 2 hours from Atlanta. We're an hour and a half from
Why is
Knoxville.
it here?
What?
Why is Chattanooga here?
What do you mean? Why?
Like,
is it
why
here?
is this city established historically? Like, what was here?
They needed a new Walmart. So they built a
happens.
Walmart and then a city kind of sprung up around it. Like most cities in America. That's how they start.
Yes. The Walmart forms the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is Huntsville the capital? Oh, what's the capital of Walmart?
What?
Oh, no.
I should know this because Bentonville. Wow.
Is it Bentonville? That sounds right.
It feels
Call
right.
us in.
I mean, is anybody fact checking this?
No.
Then it's Bentonville.
Okay,
Is
it's
that
Bentonville. Arkansas?
That feels right.
It does feel right.
Bentonville feels right, but I don't know what state that's in.
So in 1882, Arthur Chattanooga founded the first Walmart in Tennessee. Is that how that worked?
It was the Walton family, I think, did.
No, I meant Chattanooga.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know the history,
Okay.
nor the future of Chattanooga.
No, I also
I have
asked you
some
what
good
the
ideas about the
mountain-
future. What?
I asked you what the mountains here are called, and you're like,
That's
I
not
don't
true. I
even
knew
know.
the mountains.
You
It's
knew what the
Lookout-
mountains?
Lookout and Signal. Oh, the mountain range?
Yeah. You didn't know that.
Well, there's the Smoky Mountains.
Is that confirmed that these are the Smoky Mountains?
These two mountains are not. Well, they might be part of this, technically the same ridge. I don't like looking unknowledgeable on camera. So you'll just change.
I'll do this all in post.
I know that right out there, that is Lookout Mountain. And down there, well, you can't see. But if you were able to, you want to turn it?
No.
There's
I
a
don't know,
fog
whatever
now, so
you
you can't
wanna
see.
do.
Out this window is Lookout Mountain and the Signal Mountain, and I think they're named that because during the Civil War they would send a signal from the Signal Mountain, and then Lookout Mountain would be able to see the signal to see when the
That makes
federal
sense.
troops were coming.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
Not that many Confederate flags here. I thought there were going to be a lot more.
Oh, we can go. We can go. See
we
them.
can go?
Yeah. That's not far. Yeah, 15 minutes outside, 10 minutes outside Chattanooga proper. No problem.
Okay. It's
Many.
a weird fascination to obsess with a part of history that lost.
They don't believe that the game's over yet.
Oh, they're just hiding out?
Yeah, this is just a pause.
It's just a pause.
Yeah.
How long is the pause? It's
I
like
think
the
they
Christ
want there's a
resurrection.
Civil War museum, and I think that they want to have a contemporary wing. I think it's what they're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No one here goes to museums.
Untrue. We
Really?
have one museum.
Well, you have the aquarium.
That's not a museum.
I know.
To some people, it might. Let's go to the fish museum. No, there's the Hunter Museum.
The Hunter Museum?
Mm-hmm.
What does
And they've got a very troubling piece outside the doors from a New York artist named Otterman, I believe. So you know the 8th Avenue subway station with all those little bulbous people, those little small little miniature people.
Yes.
So he did all those.
Okay.
And Otterness, not Otterman. His last name is Otterness.
Otterness.
And in the 70s, as an art piece, he shot a dog on camera. Killed it.
Gotcha.
And so he's somewhat reviled in parts of the art world.
Was that pre or post these statues?
Oh, pre.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And he leaked it himself?
It leaked. I mean, that was his piece. That was his art. That's what he did.
Shooting a dog.
Yes.
But back in the 70s, you just shot dogs.
No.
People were just shooting dogs. Dogs didn't really have rights, I think, until 2014.
Well, that's when they were allowed to vote. I think it was 2014.
Right. Yes.
No, he shot a dog, and then, but like it wasn't secret, but I think the internet made people more knowledgeable about things that happened before they were born. And then I think a lot of people are outraged that New York City gave him such a large commission to do the entire subway station.
Oh, they're pretty nice.
So they're all right. So there's a massive one out front of the Hunter Museum here in Chattanooga.
Well, because down here they're like, that's a good old boy.
They're like, only a dog? All right.
One dog?
Yeah.
Because down here, you bring him back behind the shed and you shoot him. That's how you shoot a dog. Was that the problem with the video? He didn't take him behind the shed?
There was no shed.
That was the problem.
It was, yeah. I didn't see the video, but I'm sure
But
you can find
it exists.
Yeah, no, it exists.
It's like
it was in like galleries. I don't know, wherever they put it.
It was in galleries?
It was an art. This was his art piece.
But isn't it on the gallery curator then? If someone submits that, don't you have the right to be like, no?
Yeah, I think you do. But I mean, I don't know how it was received in the 70s when he did it.
So is this dog shooting video also in the Hunter Museum?
No, just one of his statues. He's moved past shooting animals. Now he just makes these
He's
sculptures.
evolved.
Yeah, that was a period of time that he had.
Okay.
Now he does these statues, and this one's like a huge, massive statue. But the thing is, I used to do a bunch of pranks and art projects and stuff, and one of the people I was a collaborator with, he had someone fabricate one of those little, it looks just like one of those little statues in the 8th Avenue subway of a guy shooting a dog, and he installed it in the 8th Avenue subway station. And it became like a story, and then they were trying to find it, and they took it away. And now Otterness has it.
For real?
They gave it to him.
That's not right.
Not right.
So the city just gave it to him.
Or the police, whoever took it away, whoever confiscated it.
So why? They just assumed he's the one that did it?
No, they just thought that he should have it. They didn't want it anymore, and they gave it to him. Andrew Tider, who's the guy
Shout out to you.
Hello, Andrew. I don't think he's watching.
Probably not.
Yeah. He should have it.
He should have it.
Or the fabricator. And the woman who fabricated it made she made the claymations for Celebrity Deathmatch. Was that?
Oh, they were good.
Yeah, it was on MTV,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Those
yeah.
little anime. So she did those. He found her, she lived in the East Village. This is terrible. Lisa Barnstone.
Sure.
I may have said her name wrong.
That's fine.
It's been a bit.
No one's checking the facts here.
It'd be funny if this is the episode that everyone fact checks all and how much.
It's just a bunch of
how much
fact
you think we've gotten wrong so far?
Almost everything.
I
don't even know if this is Chattanooga.
No, I think the only thing, and you don't even know if I'm really Jeff.
No.
I think the only thing I've gotten right is that you can't change after 15. I think that's
the only. Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing that might be a fact.
100%. Yeah. Interesting. How do you get into Claymation 1?
I don't know her backstory. She's great. We did another project together a long time ago where she made heads. She made Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. She made Celery Clinton.
Celery Clinton?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she made Bernie sandwiches.
Okay.
And we let a bunch of cats loose in the street. I don't know how high we were when we had this idea and decided to make this. But we were making a video to see. This is back in like BuzzFeed days. It's like when cats ran the internet.
Yes.
And I was like, who really cares who people would choose? All that really matters is what cats would choose. So we let these cats loose in this room with Celery Clinton and Bernie sandwiches. And of course, they're going to eat Bernie sandwiches because it's meat.
Right.
And they don't want the celery. So all the cats would go over and sniff Celery Clinton. And then they'd walk away and start chowing down on Bernie sandwiches. And then Bernie sandwiches kind of just fell apart because he was being eaten by all these cats. And we had the guy, we had like an announcer like doing like color commentary of the Like it was
Like
like,
Celebrity Deathmatch.
yeah, kind of. That's why we used her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you become like the claymation murder person? Because that's
Murder
Celebrity
person.
Deathmatch. Everyone
Right,
dies.
Yeah.
Then we're doing dogs getting shot, and then
Well,
Bernie
she didn't do the
sandwiches
dogs
being
getting.
eaten.
She didn't do the dogs getting shot.
Oh, just
She
prepared.
made. Oh, she made the statue of the guy who did. I think you just have to be the claymation queen. I feel terrible that I may have said her name wrong because we're still friends on Facebook, but I haven't seen her in years.
It's fine.
Lisa or Linda?
I think after
Barnstone.
you haven't seen someone for 3 years, you could call them whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah, that's the rule.
All right.
Yeah,
Fair.
Well, her name's probably.
I have a hard time remembering a lot of people now. I don't know if it's because of my advanced age or because I've just met too many people. I think there's a threshold of how many people you can meet.
Wasn't that like a? That's an actual fact.
Yeah, and I've surpassed it because I've lived in a lot of different places. And
Is there anything worse than someone that like they remember you but you don't remember them, and they were a very passive person? They get so offended you don't remember them. I don't care.
Is there anything worse? A couple things, but that ranks high.
In a social,
I mean,
setting.
I've re-met people that I've slept with and didn't remember.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's one word for it.
Okay.
But if you're gay in New York, that could be a lot of people.
Well, I do understand because when you go into the confession booth, you don't see the other person.
You think I'm asking for penance for my sexuality? Is that what you?
Well, I don't think you're allowed in a church. One.
It burns. It burns a bit.
Yeah.
When I go.
Nothing
in.
to do with being gay.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a UTI or anything. I think it's just
No.
it's really yeah. Do you go to church?
No.
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 You were bragging about your orthodoxness.
I was bragging
You seem
about it. I
quite
just said
religious when it helps you economically.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'll play. I'll
Yeah.
play into whatever.
So you're phony,
Yes.
hypocrite.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool. No moral center.
0.
Great.
I had a moral center for a while, and that resulted in nothing.
You pretending to be more religious than you are got you a rent stabilized apartment.
Well, it got me not to pay broker's fee.
Oh no, bro, and the apartment. I mean, right? He got you the apartment.
Well, it's also not his apartment.
Right, but okay, true. All right, so you avoided a broker's fee,
Yeah.
and yet you chastised me for asking for my rent to be reduced because I lost my view during 9/11.
I mean, do you want to go into that?
No, I'm just saying it's very, very similar.
It's not similar at all.
Pretty similar.
No. I like how you're trying to spin this.
I do.
I do respect that.
Okay.
I like how you're trying to make some content here,
Uh-huh.
but it's not even
I was
close.
trying. I forced it.
You forced it, but it's a good spin.
It was.
Do you actually think it's close to that? Because what you did there is insane.
No, I guess it's not then when you put it that way.
That's one of the most sociopathic things I've heard anyone do.
No,
Sociopathic?
I know a lot of people
Yeah.
that you know, and there's nowhere that's even in the top 10.
Well, listen. We've had Matt Hardy here talk about his.
He's probably got 5 in the top 10.
No, he's just insane.
Okay.
He's just regular insane. You getting an apartment because it had a view of the Twin Towers.
Right.
9/11.
That's normal.
That's normal. Let's break down what's normal about this.
Okay.
You're a
I
young.
stand by what I did. I have no regrets.
No, that's very clear. You've made that point several times. Let's break down this story. You're a young guy in New York. How old were you at the time? Let's set the stage.
31.
You're 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing well in advertising.
Mm-hmm. Find an apartment on Barrow Street.
You find an apartment on Where were you living before this?
I had moved to San Francisco, and I came back
Here
here.
you go.
9 Barrow Street.
9 Barrow Street.
Yeah.
And you find this beautiful apartment. Little
And
above
wait.
your price range, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was out of my price range, and the woman who owned it was her condo, and she was renting it out, put in special windows to frame the World Trade Center. And because the building was an historic building, she had to get special. She was telling me this whole story about the permit she had to get to put a different window in because it changed the exterior of the building. And if you change the exterior of a historic building, I was very proud about the multiple views of the World Trade
How
Center.
did you do that? That's got to be tough. That's got to
They
be like
did
a
it.
lot of like legal things.
It was all before I moved in. There were these windows, and it framed the World Trade Center, and that was the big selling point of the apartment. There
Gotcha.
were 3 big windows, and each one you looked at, you could see the World Trade Center.
Okay. And you said it's pretty good.
I said, this is a special apartment.
Right. And you do, in your head, you go back and forth. You decide, you know what? It's a little on my price
It's
range.
on my
but
price range.
that
I don't
view,
have to redo the bit. You don't have to redo. It is a part. It is a bit. I did push this conversation towards a bit, and was that wrong?
I don't care.
You don't give a fuck.
No, I don't care at all.
It's a true bit.
It's a true bit. I love a true bit.
Yeah, it was Michael Terry who told me I should start talking about.
Shout out Michael Terry.
Hello, Michael Terry. Is he listening?
No, but he did it once.
No, did he show his feet?
Way before the feet days.
should
Way
get
before
him
the
back.
feet days.
I bet she has good
should.
feet.
Does he do this? Does he do comedy still?
I hope so.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people.
He's very funny.
Okay, so anyway,
So
tell me more about my story.
yes. So you sign on to the apartment. When did you sign on, Jeff?
August.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Beginning of August?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so
that,
you
yeah.
had a month of the view.
It was like 3 weeks. 3 or 4
3 weeks of the view.
I'm trying to remember how long it was. Yeah, it was August, I believe.
You take a picture?
Did I take a picture?
Like of the view. Like if someone were to ask, like,
I have a whole bunch of Joe Mahoney. Shout out to Joe Mahoney. Has he done this?
No.
Didn't show his feet.
He didn't never done it.
I took pictures of everything that was happening, and he wanted to see the pictures because when I was taking these pictures, I was taking them on these plastic disposable cameras. We didn't have cell phones yet with cameras on them.
Yes, I was alive in
Right,
2001.
okay. You're just baby trash, right?
Yeah, third grade.
And
I actually have a fun story about it if you want to. We could talk about it after your story. Yeah.
And so there are these disposable shitty little cameras that have like 4 pictures left on each roll that you throw the camera in the bottom of a drawer and you forget about it. I'm just grabbing these cameras and taking pictures, and when I went to go develop them like a year later, the rolls were like trip to Hawaii, plane flies into a building. The other roll was like, hiking in California, buildings on fire. And the next roll was like a rooftop party in Brooklyn, buildings collapsing. And then I have the joke that I tell is like that had to be a real roller coaster of a day for the guy at the photomat. That was, But then Mahoney's like, I want to see these, and I was going to display them as an art piece. I was going to, just put the rolls up, just the negative rolls.
Yeah.
And then we looked. They're in a shoebox somewhere. I've moved so many times since then. I couldn't find them. Mahoney was very disappointed. Anyway,
hold on. You were home during the crash?
I was watching it out of my window.
You weren't at an office?
Not yet. It was like 9 a.m.
When did you go in?
I would usually get there like 10:15, 10:30. It's advertising. And it was right down the street. I could walk to work.
Oh, okay. That would be very funny if you
if I came
when
in
you
early
get those
one
photos
day.
finished and you're like, can you believe what I got in my from my apartment view? And they're like, Jeff, the second plane didn't hit until 9:14.
Well, the first plane was what, 9:15?
I think around then.
Yeah, I mean, I was brushing my teeth. I remember I was brushing my teeth, listening to New York One, and they were like a plane, and I thought it must have been like a Kennedy flying around.
Oh, well.
And then I saw the
Boy,
hole.
did they not have a good luck with planes.
No, I thought it was like a Cessna. And then I saw the hole. I'm like, that's
big.
That's a big hole.
Yeah.
And then, obviously. And then I think I called some people at the office, and they were like, yeah, maybe don't come right now. And then the second plane, then like, nobody was going to work.
And you're like, let me grab my camera.
I grabbed a bunch of
Let
cameras.
me get some content.
There was no such thing as content yet.
But that's how you were seeing the future then.
I was seeing history then.
No, everything's content.
Well, anyway, I see the future of content. No, I knew this was historic, so I was taking these pictures. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so the crash happened. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah,
the crash happens.
Yeah.
And okay, did you leave your apartment that day?
I did leave my apartment that day, but not while it was all
What,
happening.
to get lunch or something?
No, to go down. I remember I went with my friend Chris Ferguson, and we walked to Washington Square Park, where you used to be able to see it through the archway.
Yeah.
And it was not there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people covered in soot.
A lot of soot
coming
going
up 6th
around.
Avenue.
Huh.
And blood.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were not dusting on you.
Not a
clean.
dusting. No, other terrible things happened, but not that.
So that's done. You don't go to work that day, I'm assuming.
Did not go to work that day.
Got it.
Or the rest of that week.
Closed?
The building was open. There was no work. I had to. This is 2001, so I believe I don't think I had internet in my home yet. For some reason, maybe I hadn't had it set up yet because I was so new in the apartment. I'm trying to remember. I remember I would go to the office to use. The office was very close, so I went down there to use the internet. I believe. I'm trying to remember.
How long until you start having thoughts about the value of the apartment?
10 minutes after it happened.
For real?
Yeah, while it was happening. Is that wrong? I mean, it was sold to me that I didn't say anything. I didn't go down to the office yet, but I was like, this is going to affect the value of this apartment.
10 minutes. People are they're jumping out of the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm sorry.
Most of them were New Yorkers. I think they'd understand.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they were jumping out.
But
They're like, I can't believe Jeff paid this much.
It crossed my mind. Then other things took over in my mind. And then a couple months later, I was like, I should probably not be paying this anymore. Like, not this much.
Right.
This is a lot of money. I'm going to go down and have a discussion with them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you go down.
Yeah.
In the building.
No, it's a management company that was off of Christopher Street.
Mm.
It may have been on Christopher Street. Yeah.
And you walk right in there and you hit a bell.
No
You're
bell.
like, bing, bing, bing.
There's no bell. No.
Like, can I talk to
No, it
someone?
was a small little office. I go, hey, 9 Barrow Street.
You remember me?
Yeah, they didn't remember me. They do now.
No, they'll never forget.
That's the real never forget.
That's the real never forget for them.
They've got a never forget, and like instead of the towers, it's just me angrily protesting my rent.
It just says 9/11 and then 9/16 right underneath it.
It was more than 5 days. Please, come on. I'm not a monster.
No, yeah, you have the thoughts, but you don't take
like
action.
2 or 3. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then I was like, this rent should be reduced. This is a lot of money for an apartment with 3 windows with a view of a graveyard.
Well, you couldn't see that. You couldn't
You
see
absolutely
down, could you?
The smoldering.
Really?
Yes,
you were high up then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And it smelled. You could smell it from there. You could smell it from everywhere.
you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you.
I mean, you probably couldn't smell it from where you're from because it just smelled like every day.
No,
where you're from,
Long Island.
Because you're from Trash Island.
Well, that's where I'm ethnically from.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Long Island.
Actually, it smelled better, right? I think it was an improvement from where you're from when you could smell the acrid.
Yeah, people are throwing bodies around left and right on Trash Islands. Yeah. I do remember you could see the smoke.
Right.
Like for a couple days after.
Yeah. Yeah. I waited till that subsided. I think that was my test.
Yeah, that was the ethics in you coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go down there until the smoldering
Not
is
while
done.
it's smoldering.
Right. Let them get the smoldering under control. Let them find a couple bodies, and I'll walk in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You've painted quite the accurate picture of what was going on emotionally.
And then you walk in, and you go...
I say, hey, it's Jeff from 9 Barrow Street. And they go, how's the apartment? And I said,
it's better than others.
You said, you kind of sold me on the views. Yeah.
You immediately say that.
Something like that, yeah.
Really? You don't even start with like...
we had some pleasantries.
Okay. You didn't start with like terrible what happened.
Well, it's weird. No, we did. I do this as a bit, so I'm trying to remember the actual conversation. The bit is now taken over reality, and so I'm trying to remember the actual moments. But, we had some pleasant back and forth, and I said, hey, it's an expensive apartment, and it's really expensive because of the
you changed
view,
the infrastructure.
The view, and now I don't have the view. And they're like, well, it's a national tragedy. I go,
International.
And I go, no, but let's get real here. You're not going to offload this apartment for $2,100 anymore.
You said, let's get real here?
Something like that.
I love that.
Stop it. You're making me sound terrible.
I love it.
Or maybe I'm making me sound terrible.
You projected that on me.
Can you turn off comments on this video? Is that possible?
I'm going to increase comments somehow. They're going to say, yeah, he didn't show his feet, but you know what he did do? Show himself.
I showed my heart.
Yeah, he showed your heart.
Which is almost as disgusting as my feet.
It's what it is.
My feet are terrible. Heart, worse.
Wait for the Patreon.
I got $300 off the apartment every month, though. I got the rent reduced to $18. I can't go back in that building again or anything like that. But
do you think they remember you?
No, I'm sure they're all dead.
Yeah, they got to be all gone.
I think they all realized there was no humanity out there.
They all quit.
And they all quit. Yeah, and yeah.
they went to the top of their building.
They went to another building
off.
and jumped off. Yeah, that's yeah. I created 2 new falling mans that day.
That's funny. That's funny. And then how long did you let, the neighbors have to know.
The neighbors don't know.
The neighbors
have no idea.
It gets around.
The neighbors know about 9/11. The neighbors have no idea about
I think it gets
There's
around.
no way they know. There's no way they know. There's no way they know. I can tell you how they don't know because it was mostly owners. It was like a co-op or something, and I was renting it from the owner.
Right.
So there's no way. I mean, I'm sure those people told their families, and they're like, some guy came in here and like, they were just so dumbstruck that they didn't even really argue with me very much.
They were sure.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done if I was them. I would have been like, yeah, we'll take $300 off. What you have to do is knock on everyone's door and tell them you asked to do this.
You know, it wasn't. I remember Michael Terry was asking me, he's like, how was that? Like, was that hard for you to do? Like, how did you? And I was like, it wasn't easy to do. First, I had to sneak 12 Saudis into the country. That's the joke. That's the joke.
I had to teach them how to fly.
Right, and that part's not real because it was an inside job. But the other stuff
There you go.
is real about the rent reduction. Yeah. Snuck in the little attempt at a joke there.
How long did you live there for?
Oh, altogether, I don't know, 2 or 3 years.
That's it.
Oh.
I would have felt compelled to have
I don't know where and then I got rid of apartments altogether, and then I lived for like 2 years in Craigslist apartments that I found. Because I was trying to move to Europe, so I didn't want to have an apartment, so I put all my stuff in storage, sold the things I didn't want, and then I just kept going to Europe to interview for jobs.
How'd that work out?
I didn't get a job.
Yeah, you got a job.
It's very hard to get a work visa.
In Europe?
It was then, and I didn't have awards in the business yet. Like, if you're very heavily awarded, you can get, like, they'll petition to get you sponsored. The company will sponsor you so that you can come over to
Makes sense.
Work with them. Fixing my socks, which are coming off at some point, right? Is that what's happening?
You could do it now, whenever you want.
Actually, I just realized there's also a scab on the top of my foot. Does that increase the interest?
Well, I mean, I guess the normal people aren't going to find out. You have to sign up for the Patreon.
There are no normal people watching this.
No,
It's all
there's zero.
freaks.
Yeah.
So do they just power through the comedy talk just to get to the feet? Like, is this all edgy?
No, they love it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I found this demo, but if they found me. Shout out to this ring light.
The ring light did this?
It all changed once I got the ring light.
Oh, I just belched.
No.
Anyway. Yeah, that was the 9/11 story.
Okay.
And I lived there for a couple more years, then I didn't.
Wait, how long did you do the Craigslist apartment thing for?
About 2 years. Yeah.
You gave it a go.
Yeah, because then, also I was just living, I would take someone's apartment for like 5 or 6 months. Like, people would just go away.
Oh, wow.
And I would just take their apartment. I lived on 5th Street for a long time, 11th Street for a long time. It was all the East Village. Yeah, all over East Village.
You were an East Village guy.
All over.
Well, that was back when the Strokes were a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got my own apartment on 2nd and B. I was always in the East Village. I lived in Stuyvesant Town, which is kind of the East Village, 14th and B.
Not a big fan of Stuytown.
Jack Finnegan was there. Shout out to Jack Finnegan.
Shout out Jack Finnegan.
Has he been on?
He has 2, 3 times.
Did he show his feet?
Before feet.
I think he's probably got good feet.
I would say so.
Yeah.
He looks like a clean All-American guy.
Yeah. Yep, he does.
Bad high school football team. I remember that from this episode.
Don't know.
I don't know what that
But I think he's got good feet. I've never really thought about Jack's feet.
until now. Yeah, this podcast really makes you think about things.
Yeah.
It's more
That's one way of putting
specifically
it.
people's
Yeah.
feet.
Oh.
That's how I do the bookings.
You should get Mr. Showtime on. You really should.
I really should.
I think he would show you his feet. He showed you quite a bit of his body last night.
A good amount of it.
Yeah.
He is a social media sensation.
Yes.
Him, Livy Dunn, and Grumpy Cat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what those
Grumpy
are the
Cat's
three.
dead. Rich.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah. He came into BuzzFeed when I was there. Yep. With his agent, who's not a cat. It's a human agent.
How do you think that's the lowest point of that guy's career or the highest point of that guy's career?
I thought you were going to say it was at the highest point of my life. Or the lowest part. Working at BuzzFeed was the lowest part of my life. Yeah.
Well, at the time, BuzzFeed was hot.
Grumpy Cat was pulling in millions, I would imagine. Hundreds of thousands? I would imagine. Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're only going to make money with like brand deals. I'm assuming that Grumpy Cat was doing some kind of brand deal.
And that's like the first ever viral celebrity, right? Like
Animal-wise. I'm going to blow my nose.
Who's the first
Is there
viral
an
celebrity?
audience for that, you think?
We'll find out. Comment below. No.
I'm going to go off camera.
Okay, I don't really care what you do. Well, I didn't, because I can't remember a person really being viral. Shane Dawson is a name that sounds familiar.
I don't even know who Shane Dawson is.
And it's a name that sounds familiar. I think
Viral. I mean, pictures are viral. I mean, lots of stuff. I mean, There was viral stuff before BuzzFeed, before Instagram.
Well,
The first
like
way
the
things
first
went viral was via email chains. Jonah Peretti, who created BuzzFeed, became famous for doing these kind of famous email chains that you
I remember email chains.
Yep. And you'd want to get on them or get them forwarded to you. Yeah.
What's so good about the email chains?
The content that was in them. He was creating. It's got really hot in here. Is it just me?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Hold on a second.
Okay. What are you calling American Airlines? There we go with the spiders that I still think are real. All right. I'm still not convinced.
I've got fake spiders on my screen door so people don't walk through the screen door because people like Brittany Cardwell, shout out.
Shout out to
Has
her.
she been on?
No.
Show her feet.
She does.
She's a
hers,
small
I
woman.
believe.
She's a small woman. She's not a big woman.
I think she's a regular sized woman. I would say she's a small woman.
Well, she took down the door.
Oh, all right.
And she wasn't the only one. There were some other people who took down the door. So I Googled, how do you get people to stop walking through your screen door? And this woman on Etsy bought the SEO for that search with these fake spiders that you can have cling to your screen door. Maybe you can make that the image for this video.
I don't do that.
You don't even do that.
No.
You put a lot of work into this. Don't
I
you?
just upload it and let the world watch.
and so now that I have the fake spiders, people get freaked out and they don't walk through the door.
I'm one.
Yeah, you didn't walk through the door.
Yeah.
So, wait, what were we
What
talking
were we talking about?
Viral. So Jonah did a lot of these projects. Like at the time, I think this was on email. You could get your Nikes customized. It was like the beginning of that.
Okay.
And he had them. You could write words on them on the tongue of the shoe, and
Yes.
he put sweat and shop on the sweat
that's very
on one
funny.
and shop on the other. And the picture of that of him getting those shoes, I think that was on the email chain. Like it was stuff like that of stuff he was doing, and then he created a depository for that kind of stuff, which I guess eventually became something like BuzzFeed.
Oh, so it became like essentially a mailing list blog.
Yeah, yeah, and he also did a lot of art projects that were on the like. He did a website called Black People Love Us, and it was just these two white people that were so incredibly white that were kind of showing off their black friends, and they didn't like they were
That's pretty good.
they didn't realize how unintentionally racist they were. It was all a joke,
Right.
But and the black people were kind of going along with it, and so he did these. I think he would just email those links and stuff like that. It
That turned into BuzzFeed?
No, that was something that Jonah was doing, and then he was at the Huffington Post, and then he created BuzzFeed. Of like, how can people find this one-stop place for all the things that are kind of buzzworthy?
How did you join BuzzFeed?
I was working at Facebook, and I was going to be rich, but I wasn't going to get anything made if I stayed there. Like I would,
Sounds like tech.
Yeah, the stuff that the team and I were doing, the team that I was on at Facebook was probably not going to, the term they use is ship. We weren't going to ship a lot of our stuff. And Jonah knew of my projects, and I knew, Jonah and I had been in touch with each other just because I think we were both fans of each other's viral work.
Right. McNally Jackson Bookstore.
Was it?
No, wasn't that you?
Who?
McNally Jackson Bookstore.
What's that?
Is that the name of the bookstore?
What's this?
In the Seaport?
I
You
have
did?
no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you did something with the bookstore in the
Oh, no,
Seaport.
that's, it got really hot in this apartment.
Yeah.
No, that was just an advertising project about something. But
All right.
and Facebook had sent me back to New York. I was working out in Menlo Park, and they had sent me to New York for a couple of months to do some projects. And Jonah saw that I kept checking in New York. He's like, "Why don't we go to lunch?" And he had courted me to work at BuzzFeed prior, but Facebook was going to make me a multimillionaire if I had stayed the 4 years to vest.
Right.
But I had been at Facebook at that point for a year, and nothing was going to get made. And Jonah was offering me the opportunity to make a lot of money up front and to hire two of my best collaborators. There were these two guys I worked with, and we did a lot of projects that went viral and got a ton of press, and we enjoyed making these projects. They were kind of like jokes that were like in the real world. Just, I wasn't doing stand-up or anything.
Right.
So the opportunity to make that money up front, Facebook wasn't public yet. I had no idea what the stock would be worth. I figured it would be a lot at some point, but this was money in hand, a chance to move back to New York where all my friends and family were, and to make a lot of money and work with my friends, and to have a pretty significant title, Chief Creative Officer of BuzzFeed. At Facebook, I was just another employee.
Right.
And so between the needs of my ego and my wallet, I chose that, and it didn't last long. It was not a good fit. lasted like 7 months, 8 months.
The 9/11 apartment lasted longer than BuzzFeed.
Yeah. Well, BuzzFeed was my 9/11. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own.
yeah.
That's it.
And
That's the
think
regular
way
rep.
what?
That's the regular rep.
Yeah, and the way that I think the way that BuzzFeed has treated their employees, validates the concerns I had about their
Oh, I don't know.
moral compass.
Well, wait. What's put behind the paywall? This is the end of the reg.
Oh, are socks off now?
You could. I'm going to do it.
You're taking your socks off?
Yeah, we're going to go to Patreon.
How clean are your feet?
Pretty good.
Did you shower today?
Yeah.
Did you clean the feet?
Always.
Did you cut the toenails?
No, that would be weird.
Wait, why? To cut them in my home, you mean?
Yeah.
You don't cut your toenails outside of your apartment?
No, I've never in my life.
Public?
No, that's insane.
Cut your fingernails in public?
I bite my fingernails.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's a bad habit.
It comes from being a perfectionist, I heard.
Is it?
That you want to get them.
That's a big
And you
thing.
never will.
I never will.
They're always going to be jagged, which
I
leads
know.
to another bite, and it'll never... I got hypnotized to stop, and I stopped for about 6 or 7 months after the hypnotist.
Really?
And then I had a very stressful moment, and I went back to it. And I went back to the hypnotist, and it lasted for maybe 3 weeks after that, and then
Yeah.
I was
like
after
the vaccine.
all of this happened after I was 15, and you can't change after 15.
Science. All right, we're switching.
Wait, can I use the bathroom?
Yeah, go for it.
Or is it a continual shot?
Lincoln by. Oh, it's going to be a continual shot, but I edit this.
Oh. How was this part, you think?
We'll let them decide.
How does it track with others?
It's better than others.
I really always feel a need to compare.
Yeah.
Compare and despair, my therapist used to say. But he's dead now. So
Look at that.
look who won.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. All right, go to. We'll start it up.